Hey ladies, this is Doona here, and our little friend Kissy, who might be joining us throughout the practice. So first of all, I want to congratulate all of you. Maybe it's the first time mamas, or maybe second, third time. Either way, congratulations. This is such an exciting time of our lives. So today, if you don't know, I am actually pregnant here as well. I am almost 17 weeks. Okay, so today we're going to focus on strengthening our entire back. Okay, so strengthening as well as stretching, since we always want to counterbalance. And it's really, really important to be able to keep our back, especially the lower back through the upper back, really strong to support all the weight that we're going to bear. Okay, so the second trimester, important. If you have time to go to the gym or do a little bit of weightlifting, that's also great too, to really build some strength within the shoulders as well. Okay, and then for the first trimester, if you haven't watched any of my other videos, my 30-day challenge, I was pregnant throughout the entire 30-day yoga challenge, and I was in my first week. Okay, so you're more than welcome to take that on if you're on your first week trimester. But first, again, if you haven't watched my do's and don'ts, I suggest you watching that first. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. We're going to get started in child's pose. Okay, so if you're in your second trimester or first or even third, this is great for third trimester as well. Okay, depending on how big your belly is, you might have to bring your knees a little wider into the child's pose. You could always bring it a little bit closer, but just so as long as the belly can fit through the legs. Okay, so as you hinge from the hips, you're going to walk your arms forward. Relax the forehead and relax your shoulders here. Then taking slow, gentle inhales and exhales through your nose. If you're brand new to my page, I suggest you watching one of my videos. I believe it's the first video of my 30-day challenge. I talk a lot about the breath, which is the most important part of the practice, and especially for us, for the pregnant ladies. The breathing is going to come in handy. Okay, so go ahead and slow the inhales and exhales. One more breath here. Breathe in. And let it go. Good. Then on your inhale, rise up to tabletop position. Stack your elbows underneath the shoulders, knees underneath your hips. We're going to go about 3 rounds of our cat and cow pose to warm up our entire back. So you're going to come into an extension first by bending the elbows back towards the knees, then arching your mid and upper back. So don't dump into the lower back. Lift your chest up as you gaze all the way up. But don't dump your shoulders into your ears. Invite a lot of space around your neck. As you exhale, round your upper back. Going into some flexion of the spine, stretching into the upper back muscles, into the shoulders. 2 more. Inhale, cow pose. Be mindful of dumping into your lower back. Relax the belly. Exhale, round. Hollow out the belly. Pull your belly button in. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Now, coming back to tabletop position, okay? We're going to go through something called protraction and retraction through our upper back, which is going to help us really build strength into our back muscles, okay? So it's very similar to our cat and cow pose, but we're mostly focus on those shoulder blades, okay? So you can watch me first if you've never done this, okay? To retract your shoulder blades, I want you to focus on squeezing the shoulder blades together. You're not aggressively squeezing them together, but focus on just dropping the chest as well as the belly in one line. So you're not arching the back. You're just dropping the chest and the torso down so that the shoulder blades can come towards each other. Okay? Now, as you protract your shoulder blades, it's basically the same thing as cat pose. You're going to lift the torso, lift the chest away from the thumbs, and I want you to focus on spreading the shoulder blades apart. So you're rounding through the upper back. Good. So the difference between cat and cow pose, there's a lot of arching and rounding through the entire back. This one is mostly towards the upper back, towards the shoulder blades. Okay, so let's do it together. You're going to retract the shoulder blades as you drop the torso, drop the chest. Good, but again, you're not dumping your ears towards the shoulders, okay? Keep a lot of space between the shoulders and the ears. And as you protract, you're going to push your hands into the floor, straighten your arms without locking the elbows, and protract your shoulder blades. You're rounding through the upper back. You're not tucking the tailbone so you're squeezing the belly in. That's cat pose, okay? You're not doing that. You're slightly letting the belly soften. Good. 2 more times. Retract. Draw the shoulder blades towards each other. Like imagine there's a penny or like a quarter between your shoulder blades and you're squeezing the quarter now. And then as you protract, you're letting the quarter loosen up. And when you do this, especially in your protraction, you should feel all your upper back muscles start to activate into the arms as well as the shoulders here. Good. Great shoulder mobility and exercise to strengthen. Inhale to protract. Feel the burn through your arms. And exhale, drop the chest, retract your shoulder blades. All right, that's a lot. At least for me, I feel it a lot through my back muscle. So let's just give it a break, especially roll out the wrist here. That might have been a lot for the wrist. Go ahead and roll out the shoulders. And let's wrap your right arm across your chest. Place your left hand on top of the right arm. And let's stretch into right side, the upper back area. Stretching into the shoulders. Good. You can also drop the left ear towards the left shoulder. Good. Other side. Cross your left arm over your chest. Sitting up tall. Maybe drop the right ear towards the right shoulder. Good. All right, you're going to come back, roll out the shoulders again, and let's come back to tabletop position. We're going to do one more round of retraction to protraction. Spread your fingers out wide. Index fingers points forward, wrist underneath your shoulders. Drop your torso, drop the chest, draw the shoulder blades towards each other. And as you exhale, round the upper back, spread the shoulder blades apart. Focus on cat pose in the upper back. Now keeping this protraction, okay? You're going to feel it a lot through the upper back muscles. Keep it. You are strong. You're going to step your left foot back, then your right foot back into your high plank. Now, this is too much for you. You could always drop to the knees. Okay, you're going to hold for another 3. You're keeping that protraction in your upper back. Feel the burn through the upper back muscles. We're here for 2. Downward facing dog in 1. Awesome job. So again, depending how far along you are, if you have a belly during your 2nd or 3rd trimester, you might want to bring your feet a little bit wider. Otherwise, you could always bring your feet hip width. Point your toes forward, heels slightly out, roll the inner thighs back, draw the front ribs in, biceps frames your ears. Feel free to bend your knees a lot, or if your heels are touching the floor, feel free to lift the toes. Good. Now strengthening through the shoulders here. If you're brand new to yoga, this might be very challenging for you. We're building strength into those arms and the shoulders. Try not to dump the ear towards the shoulders. Let the neck relax. Focus on broadening through the upper back and wrap your outer triceps in. Good. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, walk your feet forward behind your wrist. Anytime your belly gets in the way with any standing positions or even like down dog, again, bring your feet as wide as you need so the belly could fit between your legs. Bend your knees as much as you need. I want you to focus more on bringing the chest towards the thighs, even if that means bending the knees a lot. Let the head relax. Then interlace your fingers behind your back. Palms connects and lift your hands all the way up towards the ceiling, maybe over your head. Get that nice shoulder stretch into your back muscles. Good. All right, going to release the hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Either hands on top of your shins. If this is too much for the hamstrings, hands on top of your thighs. I know there's a weight on your belly, but see if you could build some strength by leaning forward. Exhale, hinge from the hips and fold. Hello, Kissy. Inhale, halfway lift. Try not to grip into the toes, but lean forward, lean forward. And exhale, forward fold. Get into the lower back here. One more. Inhale, lengthen, halfway lift. Shoulders down, away from the ears. And exhale, forward fold. Good. Keep your feet as wide as you need. Okay, you're going to plant your palms in front of you. And let's step that left foot back. You're going to walk both hands to the inside of the right foot, especially if you're in your second or third trimester with the belly, so that there's space. Okay, otherwise, you could always keep your feet between your hands if you're in your first trimester or early second trimester. So anytime we're doing yoga with the belly, you just want to focus on inviting some space so the belly can fit. You can rock forward and back. Good. And then from here, you're going to drop this left knee. Inhale, crescent moon. Lift your torso. Lift your arms over your head. Again, you could keep that right foot slightly out. And as you exhale, right arm underneath the left arm. Eagle arms. Option 1, palms to touch. Option 2, back of the hands to touch. Option 3, hands grabs opposite shoulders. From here, you're going to press your elbows away from the chest. Press your hands away from the face, stretching into the upper back. Good. Keep pressing the forearms away as you hug the inner thighs in. Inhale. And exhale, plant your palms. Downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg high. Keep your hips squared. Exhale, low lunge. Step your left foot either between your hands or remember outside of that left hand. Whatever feels best for you to keep that space for your belly. Rock forward and back, get into those hips. So especially in your third trimester, it's going to be important to open up those hips. Get ready for labor. Good. Drop your right knee. Keep your left knee over the left ankle. Inhale, crescent moon. Don't just dump your hips down. Keep activating through your hips. Lift the belly up. Lift your side waist up. And as you exhale, left arm underneath your right for eagle arms. Keep pressing the forearms away from the face. So you're slightly rounding the upper back to stretch into your back muscles. Press your hands away from the face. Core stays engaged. Hug the inner thighs in. Last inhale. And exhale. Plant your palms, downward facing dog. Good. All right, friends. Let's go ahead and drop down onto our knees. Option 1, take hero's pose. Sit on your heels, knees together. Option 2, you could take fixed form. Heels outside towards the outside of your hips. You could sit on a block or two. Okay? Then as you inhale, you're going to sit up nice and tall. And as you exhale, twist over to the right. Right hand behind the back, left hand on top of right thigh. Okay? So to stretch into the back, your spine, twisting helps to stretch out into the lat muscles, releasing tension in the lower back, really targeting through the upper and mid back as well as the shoulders, okay? So when you're pregnant, okay, again, I hope you watched my do's and don't videos. Don't twist from the belly. You don't want to over compressed. So focus on twisting through the upper back. So I want you to focus on just peeling that right shoulder back as the left shoulder comes forward, okay? So I want you to focus on lengthening the tailbone down. Good. Okay, so where your bra line is, maybe that's the lowest point where I want you to twist. Good, other side. And you could always keep your arms open too. That way you kind of feel more of that extension, more of that openness. All right, friends. Now come back to center, taking camel pose. You're going to grab your 2 blocks and place them next to your heels, to the outside of the heels. I want you to start off with the highest length first because we're going to do a few sets of these. Okay? So not only are we going to find that extension through the upper back, but also really strengthening through the upper back. So anytime we're doing these back bends, a lot of times we think we're just kind of falling back, letting the back bend happen on its own, but you're actually working to keep the lower back lengthened, to keep the chest lengthened up, to strengthen the back muscles, okay? So you're working, you're not relaxing, remember that. Option 1, or rather, let's all do this. Hands behind the lower back, fingertips points forward. You're going to squeeze the elbows in towards each other. Feel that stretch into your pec muscles, into the shoulders and chest. Then as you exhale, you're going to press your fingers down and notice how my tailbone tucked down, okay? That way you're going to support the lower back. Then as you inhale, you're going to lift the chest, open the heart, and as you exhale, just lean your chest back. Good. So you're keeping everything active. Hip stays over the knees, engage through the quads. Keep lifting up to strengthen the back muscles. Inhale. And exhale, slowly rise. Good. All right. So you could bring your hands to heart. Close your eyes for a moment. You could always have a seat. We're going to do 2 sets of those. The second one, we're going to end up placing our hands on top of the blocks. But catch your breath. This is a deep pose, so if this doesn't feel good for you, please feel free to skip it. All right, so coming back onto our knees, hands to our lower back, squeeze the elbows, firm up the quads, hug the outer hips in so the glutes are engaged. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, maybe drop your hands to the blocks, maybe. If this is too much for you again, don't do it. Just keep your hands on your lower back. Don't lean back so much. Otherwise, work into the back muscles as you lift the chest up. Engage the core. Keep lengthening the tailbone down. When you come up, bring your hands to your lower back first, and then slowly rise. Good. All right, let's go ahead and have a seat. We're going to do one more of that. Your choice. I'm going to keep my blocks this length. If you want to drop it down a little bit, you've been practicing yoga for a while, feel free to do so. Breathe in. And let it go. All right, one more time. Come standing on your knees hip width, hands behind your lower back, fingers points down. Inhale, lift the chest, lengthen through the front side of your body. Gaze up, lean your chest back, and exhale, drop your hands on top of the blocks. I want you to try to drop the hands on top of the blocks at the same time so there's no twisting, okay? Again, keep lifting your lower back up towards the shoulder blades. Shoulder blades lifts up towards the chest. Lift the belly button up. You're lifting everything up. Bring your hands to your back. Good, and have a seat. All right, awesome job here. Let's take a few rounds of breath. I want you to find that neutral spine. You're going to feel a nice release through your entire back muscles. Feel free to take open mouth exhales. Good. Let's meet on our sit bones. And extend both legs out in front of you. Scoot your sit bones back. And to stretch out our lower back, especially from that back bend, we want to always counterbalance. We're going to focus on lengthening the lower back all the way up to the upper back and into the upper back, all right? And again, depending how big your belly is, you could bring your feet as wide as the mat, whatever you need to do to keep that space for your belly. Otherwise, if you're barely showing, feet can stay together. Good. Inhale, sit up nice and tall. Feel free to bend the knees here as well. And exhale, hinge from your hips and folds. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, lengthen your spine, lift the chest. Exhale, hinge from the hips. Good. You're more than welcome to stay here so there's not too much compression in the belly. Just keep the chest lifted. Find length through your spine as well as the front side of your body. Keep the neck long. Inhale. And exhale. Good. All right, inhale, slowly rise. Let's take Savasana. Let's lie on our left side. Okay, so you don't want to lie on your back for too long. If you ever wake up on your back, don't freak out. It happens. Okay, so you're going to come into that fetal position with your left arm underneath the left ear. Bend the knees into the chest and relax the right arm. Taking a deep inhale, relax your body. You've worked so hard here. And an exhale. Stay here as long as you need. I'll see you guys next week, Tuesday, prenatal yoga classes. If you guys have any questions, please comment below. Thank you guys. See you guys soon.